Is there a word for a person with only one head? Reading this article by the fantastic Douglas Adams, I came across this interesting quote. Interactivity is one of those neologisms that Mr. Humphreys likes to dangle between a pair of verbal tweezers, but the reason we suddenly need such a word is that during this century we have for the first time been dominated by non-interactive forms of entertainment, cinema, radio, recorded music and television. We didn't need a special word for interactivity in the same way that we don't, yet, need a special word for people with only one head. This got me thinking, not just about what that word might be, unicif, monocap, but also about how new words are constructed. My two first thoughts above were that the word would be constructed from either Greek or Latin roots, mono and uni, respectively, and I assumed that most newly constructed words would follow a similar structure. That is, they would take previously prescribed pieces of a language, classical or otherwise, and shape those pieces to fit the needs of the new word. But which language would be more likely? Greek? Or Latin? Or, since the concept of having to describe someone with only one head antedates both of these languages by so much, would it be inappropriate for a new word to have a classical root? I would appreciate it if any readers who do have multiple heads could let us know authoritatively how you refer to us one-headed folks.
The point that a word should make is that it has to be an adequate symbol for what it represents. This is, in essence, arbitrary and pragmatic, and whatever work as a symbol will make its way into memories and experience of individuals, then a subculture, jargon, and then culture, spreading from common spoken use to use in periodical publications to the moment these words are added to dictionaries. It can follow patterns from Greek or Latin, and you will find many examples in this and last century. We had to invent many new words to deal with advance of information technology. If you read up on neologism, you will find other ways of constructing new words mentioned, combining existing words, regardless of etymology, abbreviating, rhyming, etc. Urban Dictionary almost exclusively shows neologisms, even fictional. Here you can see new words in journals. You can also look at lists of words added to a dictionary, such as this sample from Merriam-Webster. As you examine these lists, you will see progression from less adopted words to more standard words, and you might see some patterns that make them accepted into the language. Edit. There is polycephaly, which refers to general condition of having more than one head. In case of words prefixed with poly dash, the usual counterpart is mono, and so your best bet is monocephaly. After I constructed the word, I looked it up, and it exists. Mon op si fall oic bearing one flower head, as in the scape of a dandelion.
A variant would be monocephalous, having only one head, in botany, bearing a single capitulum or head. Specifically, having the character of a monocephalous, or monocephalous. Nunine teratol, a double monster having only one head but two bodies, also called syncephalous. See also syncephalous. Nunine teratology, a double monster with more or less fusion of the heads, same as monocephalous.
How about something like unicapital? From unus L, 1 plus capitis L, head. The unicapital inhabitants of the Sol system consume comparatively few facial tissues.
We don't have a specific word yet for people with one head, but botanists and other similar scientists have long needed such words. Google Ngram shows that one-headed, monocephalous, and monocephalic have all been used significantly over the years. Edit. Bill Weaver points out in comments that single-headed is indeed more frequent than any of these. Monocephalous also appears, but only very rarely as an English noun. It seems to always be either in scientific names of plants, or else a typo for monocephalous. Unicapital, monocephalon, and various other variations I tried found no hits. Speculating, I think one-headed would probably dominate everyday use. As a noun form, one-head is obvious, but could easily become pejorative/derogatory. One-headed person/people would then be the politically correct phrase. Monocephalous would, like many similar classical formations, remain mostly associated with medical usage.
If you want to support the channel, please consider looking this Friday.